This is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room. If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it. Pictures of our weight room.
Oregon Duck Sedona Prince is calling out the NCAA for the difference she noticed between the men's and women's training facilities at March Madness. Her video has sparked a wave of online criticism that includes stars like Steph Curry and former Duck Sabrina Ionescu. The NCAA said it was a space issue, but you can see here from Prince's video that didn't appear to be the problem. They've since promised to take action. And those imaging sparking a conversation about the inequalities that exist for female athletes, not just in basketball, but across all sports. Joining me now is Letitia Amihir. She's a forward for the South Carolina Gamecocks and competing in the tournament, originally from Mississauga, Ontario. She joins us now in San Antonio, Texas. Hi, Letitia. Thanks for chatting with us tonight.
Hi.
So let me get your reaction, maybe before even that video kind of went viral, when you walked in and you saw the gym that they were offering for the tournament, what went through your mind?
When I first walked in the gym, I saw the weights. I thought it was just, something that was just there, and we were going to be able to see the real gym that was going to be there for us because, this is a huge tournament, so we were definitely expecting world-class treatment.
So your reaction then when you found out that was in fact the real gym that you all were expected to train in, and then further when you saw what the guys got?
Yeah, it's crazy. The disparity is huge, and we're high level athletes. We're working out the whole year, and we have a gym at home that we're used to. Coming here, we're used to coming here and just being able to continue where we left off, and being able to train at the highest level is what we need, and not to have that is incredible.
It's not just about this particular gym or NCAA either. What does this incident kind of highlight about the way that female athletes are treated and valued?
It definitely shows that there's a long way to go. A lot of people just don't believe that there's such a disparity between men's and women's, but this is just one of the many examples going on today, and it's bringing light to a lot of things that need to be changed. And you can see it in social media. We're not going to be silenced, and seeing this generation really taking action is really important because it's sparking change. And you see the NCAA is starting to notice that there's a lot of traction, and that's something that they have to fix.
What are some of the other examples, some of the other ways that women's sports are kind of ignored or just disrespected?
Many ways. In the media, obviously it's hard to not be able to have a lot of fans, but when people say that the women's basketball is not viewed as much, well, that's because there's not a lot of viewership. It's not shown in the media. There's not a lot of advertising for it. So when it's like that, you're not going to expect a lot of traction in that way. I think the media is one of the biggest outlets for us, especially in this generation. So being able to expose the young women and young men to women's basketball is going to open their eyes, and then they'll be able to appreciate it a lot more once it's covered in the media.
Yeah, that is one of the big arguments, right? And really viewership, it also comes down to money, to profits, that it doesn't attract a large audience, so it doesn't make a lot of money. But do you think that it's kind of a chicken versus an egg situation?
Yeah, I think it goes full circle. The WNBA, for example, is a fairly newer league compared to NBA, so you hear that comparison a lot, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but you definitely see this newer generation seeing a lot more traction. WNBA last season had the most viewerships in a while, so you're definitely seeing a lot more outlets showing the women's sport, and when you see that, consequentially, you're going to see more viewership, you're going to see more funding, you're going to see more interest, and that way, for us to be able to move forward, we have to continue exposing our generations to the sport.
So I know that NCAA has responded. They said that they're going to address the issue. I'm assuming, though, that this was a conversation happening before even that video kind of got shared as much as it did. What's been the reaction, or what's been the conversations there at the tournament?
I mean, it's definitely great that we're getting the NCAA to make changes, but it's something that should have been addressed beforehand. Coming obviously with COVID is a lot of changes this season, and obviously the funding is not there, but this is a huge tournament. and you're expecting many teams to come here and compete at the highest level. And to be able to do that, you need to train in such a way. So it's great that they're taking action, but we would hope that in years to come that this is something that would be resolved before, it is brought to light or brought to social media.
We know March Madness is a huge platform for a lot of young players, particularly for the male players. But is this the same kind of caliber of athleticism when you watch the women play as well that you feel doesn't get that same attention?
I think the argument between that is kind of unfair in some ways, because obviously men and women's basketball is two different things, there's two different ways to look at it. Some people say that the women's sport is more fundamentally sound, whereas the men's sport, you'll see a lot of athleticism shown in dunking and all that. But I think that the women's sport is doing a great job of advancing our game. We're seeing a lot more women dunking and showing their athleticism. But I also think that there's so much more to the game. And being able to really appreciate and sit down and watch women's basketball, you'll be able to see that.
All right, we'll leave it there. Letitia Amahir is a forward for the South Carolina Gamecocks. She's from Mississauga, Ontario, and she's at the tournament this weekend. Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.